Tony Ferguson used to be the boogeyman. Genuinely, that's what his nickname means. Al Kukui, the guy who went on a 12-fight win streak in the UFC. The guy Kabib could never beat. Not because he wasn't good enough, but just because the universe never let it happen. It genuinely refused to let it ever happen. I swear that fight probably got cancelled like 5 times. Like Tony tripped on a wire, Kabib pulled out. Then you had like the whole pandemic. Genuinely, it was like MMA just got cursed. And now he's lost 8 in a row. He's cut from the UFC and is about to co-main a KSI boxing card against a TikToker. This genuinely might be one of the biggest falls from grace in terms of UFC history. What the hell happened to Tony Ferguson? Tony's rise was pure chaos. He won the Ultimate Fighter, then went on a legendary 12-fight run. He beat Barboza, RDA, Pettis, Cerrone, and pretty much anyone that stood across him in that freaking cage. Yeah, you weren't leaving without a bit of blood on you. Trust me, that dude was dangerous. Like, this guy was genuinely insane, and I wouldn't want to fight him. This is the same guy who would train by shadowboxing in the dark, rolling around in sand and kicking fucking steel pipes for fun. This guy was a lunatic. So yeah, if you were fighting Tony, it didn't really mean much if you were gonna win, because you didn't win, you just kind of survived. But then we had the Kabib Curse. The Curse fight got booked 5 times and 5 times it got cancelled. Honestly, I think that fight had worse luck than John Jones in a drug test. Like, it just wasn't happening. Tony tore his fucking knee up walking to a media event. Like, he actually fully destroyed his knee on a cable. Kabib got like hospitalized or something from like a weight cut, and then COVID came, which just shut down the whole planet. Honestly, like, the MMA gods didn't want this fight to ever happen. And to this day, I still feel like it's the biggest what if in MMA, but I don't know, because then came the Gachi fight. Short notice, Kabib was stuck in Russia. Tony said, whatever, let's do Gachi. And he got ruined. It was 5 rounds of just getting dropped. Honestly, his face got just destroyed in that fight. You could honestly see him breaking. He was shaking his head like he was genuinely like speaking to ghosts or some shit. And that was Tony's first loss in, I think it was like 8 years or something. And I think genuinely, in that fight, he left a piece of himself in that cage, because he never returned back to what he once was. Genuinely, like, the decline just began, and after that, it just got really sad. He lost to Oliveira, who almost snapped that dude's arm in half. Dariush, Chandler, who, bro, I don't know. Look at this dude's face. Look at this. This is what Chandler did to him. Lost to Nate, Bobby Green, Paddy Pimblett. You could just tell. Like, his reactions were slow, his knees were shot, and he just wasn't adapting anymore. You could genuinely see the legend in Tony just fade again and again and again. Not to mention, you also had the out of cage stuff like DUIs, legal trouble, and honestly, fans, including me, I think got worried about this bloke. Like, it was just a bunch of concern. Like, there was no more hype with him anymore. It was just pure concern. Like, I felt like every time the UFC would book him, we all knew what was gonna happen, and it was just like a funeral we're just waiting to watch. But yeah, eventually they cut him, and now he's fighting Salt Puppy. Yeah, the dude from TikTok. Don't get me wrong, the guy's not that bad at boxing, but I don't think you can really get much further fall from grace going from UFC to a TikTok fight. I don't know. Like, this guy used to fight for gold, and now he's on the same card as people who got famous for like doing dances and shit in their kitchen. Like, the guy's not a pro boxer, let's be real. Salt Puppy is just a TikToker who's got some hands. But yeah, look, I don't know, wouldn't want to be me, but hey, money is money. Tony went from Al Kukui to fighting influencers, from the boogeyman to fighting guys named Salt Puppy. Tony Ferguson was genuinely one of the strangest, most dangerous fighters the UFC ever had, but like a lot of other legends, the crash came really fast and it just never stopped.